Well, there's going to be plenty of happy owners on course and at the Bowls Club later on today, no doubt, Riley, with Lendon Ear taking out the third here at Kalgoorlie. A great result for Ashley Grace, first win of the season, and Keshaw Duran as well.
Yeah, certainly was, Tess. Congratulations to Ash on the first winner for the season there with Lendon Ear. A nice win as well. Once this horse was able to find clear galloping room in the straight, was given a really nice ride, as you mentioned, by Kesh Duran, a man in form at the moment, has been riding winners over the last 7 days or so. Really over the last fortnight he's been in some good riding form in the saddle, Kesh. But once he was able to get this horse into the clear, as we chatted to him about post-race, didn't see out the mile last start, but back to 1400 metres, he picked them up really nicely over the concluding stages.
Definitely, it's suited indeed. Our attention now shifts to race number 4, the KCLD cleaning handicap, the 58 plus over the 1100 metres. The one is Evelina. She's got a fantastic track record here. Pete Fernie and Jefferson saying.
She does, Tess. She loves racing here at Kalgoorlie, and she's my on-top selection here today as well in what's another very open race, race 4 on the program. I just thought the weight told last start in her run over 1200 metres. She chased home hard behind T-Biscuit, who only had the 50.5 kilos on his back as opposed to the 61 kilos that Evelina was made to carry with the senior jockey on board, but still went down fighting, finishing second on that occasion, beaten a length and a half. They opt to claim here for Jefferson saying, which I like, only has 58 kilos off the back of his claim, drawn beautifully and soft once again in barrier 1 to enjoy that run, box seating on the back of the leader, back to 1100 metres as well, has terrific track and distance stats, great stats at the track as well, as you mentioned, 13 starts here at Kalgoorlie for 2 wins and 7 minor placings. I think this is really good placement with this mare.
The 2 is Pearly Nugget, winner last start 3 weeks ago, Helen Harding, Zephyr Johnson Porter.
It was a dominant performance, Tess. I do think the pattern probably favoured her last start. It was very much an on-speed day here, and a day where you needed to be up and in on the track to be favoured by that pattern, and that's exactly the run that she was able to afford herself on that occasion, leading throughout and kicking away over the concluding stages. Does look to be a bit of a tougher setup here from the draw, has a bit more weight to carry this time around as well, but gee, it was a dominant win. There's a bit of speed drawn underneath her here, so I'm not sure she's going to get across as easily as she would like, and there looks the potential for her to be posted 3 deep for mine.
The 3 is Love Drunk Baby, Peter Fernie, Chanel Cooper.
He's had a really consistent preparation without winning thus far, Love Drunk Baby. He's run third at each of his last 3 outings, 2 of those behind Flobar, who was in some really good form earlier in the season. Then last start, tackled that same race, beaten 5 lengths by Pearly Nugget, so that is a fair beaten margin to have to turn around here, given that he does meet her at the same weights. Has drawn very wide, a tough draw for Chanel Cooper to have to navigate there. He is going to need a good steer.
Pete Fernie with plenty of runners in this field. Another stablemate is Magnasonic in the 4, Braden Carth rides.
Had his first run up here at the KBRC last start over 1100 metres. May have just needed that run to bring him on. He's got a terrific second up record, so traditionally really comes on for having that run under the belt. Bit of a knock, the fact that Lucy Fiore hops off him here today in favour of another galloper in this race, and he has drawn a little bit tricky in barrier 8 as well, but what we do know is that he's a versatile type and think he's capable with luck in running of a much better showing.
The 4th of the Pete Fernie runners is Dreamers Never Dine, is the favourite at $3.20, Tash Faithful rides.
I put him on top at his first run back, Tess. I thought he trialled huge leading into that first up performance, and he was a really big run against the pattern of the day, got a long way back, and those runners that were making their runs down the middle of the track certainly weren't favoured on that occasion. He is likely to get off the speed. He has drawn wide once again, but Tash Faithful will come out, look for that moving line, perhaps 3 deep with a bit of cover to be able to blend into the race, and think if he can produce his best, it's certainly capable of picking these up in the run to the post.
And the 5th of the Pete Fernie runners is Hezangelic, Lucy Fiore rides.
Has his first run for Peter Fernie, formerly trained by Dan and Ben Pearce, did have his last run up here at Kalgoorlie for Dan and Ben, but has clearly been left here. Was just gobbled up late last start by Twist of Gold, who I've actually made my best bet on the program a little bit later on today. Tess gets the senior jockey on board today in Lucy Fiore. He's extremely quick early. Wouldn't surprise me to see him find the front here from that good draw, but he does have to rise in weight, and he is up in class here today as well, but he could be a really handy acquisition for the team.
Paori is the 7, first up today off the back of quite a lengthy spell. Gary Bowen, Troy Turner.
284 days to be exact between runs, Tess. She's a mare that flies fresh and she's very quick early, so it wouldn't surprise me to see her in this early speed battle from that nice barrier that she's drawn here as well. Terrific first up record, as you mentioned, and I do love that old combo Turner and Bowen. They always genuinely tend to combine for plenty of winners up here at the KBRC, so you always have to be respecting.
The 8 is Natural Gem, Nev Newton, Atika Riordan.
Hit the line last start. Didn't mind the way she worked home into third behind T Biscuit, but I did think she had the race run to suit on that occasion. She loses the senior jockey this time around, though, with Atika Riordan jumping on board. Drops back in trip to 1100 metres. I don't think that's a bad thing, but for mine, her form has tapered a little bit the deeper that she's gotten into this preparation, but she should enjoy that weight relief that she gets and should get a good run throughout as well from the draw.
The 9 doesn't go around here today, so we move on to the 10 in Lady Negroni, Jeremy Easthope and Luke Campbell.
She was caught wide last start on WA debut at Northam in a Class 3 over this distance and thought she stuck on really well. She was only beaten 3.5 lengths by Santanova, a nice filly on that occasion. At big odds as well, went around $101, so I do think she will improve for having that run under the belt. She certainly showed some tactical speed there, so she's another of these horses or speed horses in this race that could roll forward, and think Jeremy Easthope certainly has something to work with.
And the 11 is Scenic Eclipse, Chris Willis and Alex Hearn.
Interesting runner on the minimum here today, Scenic Eclipse. She trialled really well leading into her first up run. She was a little bit slow away, but I love the way she worked home over the final 200 metres over the 1,000 behind Magic Cash. Steps up to 1,100 here, drawn nice and soft in barrier 2, can take up a much more prominent role. We've seen her win leading races in the past. While she's up in class, she's city to country grade, so I do like that transition, and that form often translates quite well.
We have a new favourite now and continuing to be supported in the market in Hezangelic, first up for Peter Fernie. Lucy Fiore rides $5 into $3. Dreamers Never Die is on the second line of betting. Opened our favourite at $2.90, now out to $3.40. Pearly Nugget is $3.70, out to $5.50. Evelina, you're on topper here. Riley is $13 into $8. Paori is the next best at $13, first up today. Scenic Eclipse, $16. Love Drunk Baby, $19. Magnasonic, $26. Natural Gem, $23. And Lady Negroni, $34. How do we order the 4?
1, 5, 11 and 2 for me here, Tess. They seem to be loading in well, but Evelina gets a nice setup from the box seat utilising the claim. On top for me.
1, 5, 11 and 2 here for Riley. 1, Evelina on top. We'll hand you upstairs now to Royce Newton to call us home.
Thanks, Tess. Thanks, Riley. Yes, runners almost have completed the line here. This is the KCLD cleaning handicap, first leg of today's main quaddie. Of course, races 4 through 7. Your favourite is Hezangelic, who's been heavily supported in the lead up to this race. Now, Evelina Jefferson Sang has just dismounted and the horse will go forward riderless. Lady Negroni still to come forward as well. They're the last 2 to complete the line for race number 4. So stand by, not too far off a start here. $3.40, Dreamers Never Die, and then out to $5.50 Pearly Nugget, $7.50 Evelina. And next best is $14 Scenic Eclipse. Chris Willis bringing a couple of horses to Cal today. Mavis Myrtle has been heavily supported in race number 6. So they're just working on Evelina, who has the barrier blanket. So they'll be clipping that up. And then Lady Negroni to come forward and complete the line. Just take this moment to wish Esperance Bay Turf Club President Kenny Norton a very happy birthday on course today. So here's Lady Negroni, who completes the line. We're set for the short course. This is race number 4. Stand by. No, Scenic Eclipse just backs out at the last moment. So it goes forward now. Locked away, stand by, red lights on. Gates fly back. They're off from the 1100 metres. Now dropping out was Scenic Eclipse. Going back as well, Lady Negroni. With early speed, Hezangelic working forward with Pearly Nugget, Perori and Love Drunk Baby making a line of 4. They were followed by Natural Gem, who settles down 5th. Magnasonic midfield. Evelina the top weight on the fence, followed by Lady Negroni. Dreamers Never Die. And at the tail, it's Scenic Eclipse. So onto the side of the course, and it's Pearly Nugget. Shows out by a head. Running second on the outside, Love Drunk Baby. Then Perori third. They were followed by Hezangelic and then Natural Gem in the centre. The fence then to Evelina around the outside, Magnasonic. Then Dreamers Never Die, who's spotting the leader 6 lengths. Lady Negroni second last. And last of all, it's Scenic Eclipse. On the point of the turn, it's going to be Pearly Nugget who brings them into the straight. Love Drunk Baby to the outside. Then we had Perori starting to extend, followed next of all by over on the fence, Hezangelic. It's still Pearly Nugget. Down the outside, Love Drunk Baby together with also Natural Gem and Magnasonic. But inside the final 100, it's Pearly Nugget. Here's Hezangelic over the top. They stride to the line. Hezangelic. Hezangelic gets up in the final stride. Defeats over on the inside Pearly Nugget, who was there right up until the end. Third a photo, we had Natural Gem who crossed the line with Evelina, followed in next of all by Magnasonic. Then we had Lady Negroni, Love Drunk Baby, Scenic Eclipse, Dreamers Never Die, and Perori was one of the last. Hezangelic in the final stride denies Pearly Nugget, who at the 100 looked to have a good kick. An exciting finish here, but it will go the way of number 6, Hezangelic. First run for Peter Fernie this afternoon. They've ran time too, 104.52. Good gallop on the track today. 2 gets second. That's Pearly Nugget. 8, Natural Gem will get third. And 4, Magnasonic gets fourth. 6-2, 8-4, 104.52. They were always going to go like scalded cats in this. And Pearly Nugget's done a superb job to hold on for a minor placing because the swoopers were starting to come, and unlucky not to hold on. But Hezangelic, the market was right. Number 6, your winner by Universal Ruler from Tips and Scandals, owned by the Pierce Racing Syndicate. C. Pierce, R. Peterson, A. Alsop, the Hezangelic brothers, also C. Salmeri, T. Salmeri, C. Salt, S. Peliqua, A. Russo Battaglio, and also D. Shillington. Hezangelic brings up win number 3 at start 14, a progressive type, that's for sure. Number 2, Pearly Nugget, is second. Helen Harding and Zephyr Johnson Porter by Snippet Sun from Pearlesque, going by Chris Harding and S. Lawrence. Third in was the 8, Natural Gem, for Nev Newton and Natika Riordan, owned by R. Newton, C. Newton, Mrs. L. Newton, N. Newton, and C. Newton. And fourth in was the 4, that's Magnasonic for Pete Fernie and Braden Garth. 6-2, 8-4 margins come to hand, a long head by a length and a half, but a good win there by Hezangelic. Race 5 is next, the Black Diamond Drilling Handicap over the 1,600 metres. Just the 1 scratching, the 15, the emergency not required, 14 to run. Your favourite reliable image at $3.60. But in the meantime, 6-2, 8-4. Let's cross down to the yard and catch up with Peter Fernie.
Thanks, Royce. Joined by Pete Fernie here. Hezangelic was a nice win. Pete, you've only had the horse for a couple of weeks. What have you learned about him?
We come to this race just thinking like it drew 22 in the Class 2, and it gets a fair bit of weight. He hasn't won many races, but he's got quite an awkward race rating to place. But he done a good job in a 58. It was a good run today, and Lucy rode him a treat, so he could go on with it a little bit. I think he's on the online auction, so he'd be a good buy for someone.
I was just about to say it would be a nice acquisition for your stable, but online, potentially another purchase for yourself?
I'm not too sure yet. I've got plenty of horses. He's a nice little horse, though. He ran a really good race then and done a good job.
Very big effort indeed. Reliable Image is favourite in the next. Strong push there?
Yeah, I think she's going to run a good race, but it's always hard out of a maiden just to see how they handle a step up in grade. But cross our fingers she goes good.
Congratulations. Great result here. Hopefully chat to you soon.
Thank you.
There's Pete Fernie. Here's Lucy Fiore on the board today.
Thanks very much, Tess. Catching up with winning jockey Lucy Fiore. Lucy, this horse was able to lead last start and was only run down right in the shadows of the post, but clearly appreciated being ridden with a bit more of a sit there today.
Yeah, for sure. I knew there was going to be a heap of speed. I was going to try and lead, but I just wanted to get there on the bridle and it wasn't going to happen, so I let the others go, and it worked out really well.
Looked as though the leader might have had your measure with 200 metres to go, but to his credit, he really knuckled down well and showed some toughness late, which is a positive.
Yeah, and he had a great turn of foot, and I was waiting for a run. I pulled the wrong rein a few times recently over the week, so at least I pulled the right rein. And yeah, once he got some clear running, he let down super.
Typically strong book of rides remaining for the afternoon. So I'll ask you about a horse you know very well in Call Time. What are the expectations there in race number 6?
She improved the other day, ran third, and I think she can keep running places. She'll get stronger and stronger, but I guess we're still learning about her, so we'll see.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
There's Lucy Fiore combining with Peter Fernie and Hezangelic taking out the KCLD cleaning handicap, the 58 plus over the 1100 metres. Numbers here in the first leg of the quaddie, 6, 2, 8 and 4. Our attention now shifts to the next race up at Port Hedland, race number 4. We've got 7 minutes remaining here, Riley. The first leg of the quaddie up at Hedland. We'll begin our preview with Border Control, Timo Pike and Holly Knottle.
Pretty easy to have him on top as well, Tess. He's absolutely airborne at the moment, his Border Control. He's won each of his last 3 starts in pretty dominant fashion up there at Port Hedland as well. And really, this is no harder than any of those races this afternoon. Should get a great run once again from Barrier 2. Holly Knottle, who was on board for that win last start, sticks with him as well.